When assessing the international conditions for national prosperity, Asian demand for our exports has helped Australia manage the global financial crisis better than most other developed economies. In fact, probably better than all other developed economies. Depression patients, for example, may feel better after taking the medicine. However, it does not mean there is a change in their lifestyle. Therefore, buying the prescription medicine is not like buying a soap. It takes a sober mind and careful decision and understanding of what we really need to improve. An NGO's orientation refers to the type of activities it takes on. These activities might include human rights, environmental, improving health, or development work. Such precaution knowledge is taught by professionals from large hospitals and organizations. But in some cities, large consultation is not suitable because it is hard for target groups to meet, who live in remote areas. To deliver training to them, professional teams have to go across rivers. More complicated machines have been developed, like ECG, able to have an insight of your internal body without intruding it, which can show the human brain's functions. Because of our training we do have expertise in certain very narrow areas of language, but we don't have the authority over what to do with that knowledge or what to do with other knowledge that the community produces. Once that you are looking at over the ocean, it turns out sea salt is a very effective nucleator for forming clouds, so there is a really good chance that those are loaded with sea salt. But as you go inland, you start to have pollution come from all different kinds of sources. Besides living in fresh water and on dry land, the adults of some species are adapted for living underground or in trees. Adult frogs generally have a carnivorous diet consisting of small invertebrates. Internship allows the employer to base their hiring decision on an actual work sample instead of a series of interviews, and the employer does not have to make that permanent hiring decision until the internship period is over. The first imperative for putting people first is to inspire through purpose. Most transformations have financial and operational goals. These are important and they can be energizing to leaders, but they tend not to be very motivating to most people in the organization. Students may feel this way sometimes, but this simply is not true. The reality is that Latin never died, and never came to a crashing end with the death of a single tragic figure. Throughout history, different cultures have used various methods to accomplish this. But the first modern tattooing machine was modeled after Thomas Edison's engraving machine and ran on electricity. Because the American Psychiatric Association includes internet gaming disorders as disorders that requires further research, but that can result in clinically significant impairment or distress. One study found that the laughter produced from deaf participants was fundamentally similar to that produced by normally hearing individuals, backing up the idea that laughter is grounded in human biology. Everything was tried from exposing parts of the body to open flames, to severely dropping the body's temperature with ice, to even bloodletting from the head directly. Scientists observe and document seasonal changes in nature and look for patterns in the timing of seasonal events. Timing of these natural signs has remained consistent until recently. Increasing global temperature is causing rhythms of nature to shift. It's rare to find an adult who actively still wonders what their parents think. But that is not to say that we are not wondering about our value in more general terms. It's just that we may, without noticing, have taken the question somewhere else to particularly harsh modern figures of authority. More marriages are ending in divorce. More people are living alone, cohabiting with someone, or marrying more than once in a lifetime and creating stepfamilies. Traditional families once dominated every neighborhood. Pre-cinematograph appear, all of these things are just emerging, and here are people looking at the world in a very different way which was considered so radical at the time. The rapid expansion in the power of computing and the rapid fall of the cost of computing and storage and communications has made it feasible for information technology to move into all sorts of areas of life that were never originally envisaged.